So I've popped the exhaust off. It's down here. It's going to need a good clean and then some high temp black. Really, the pipes should come off and be fully polished, but I haven't really got the facilities to polish these pipes. They'd be pretty cool if they were wrapped in Kawasaki green, wouldn't they? Let's picture this. Gloss black. Green Kawasaki sticker. Green exhaust wrap. Little kind of tiny bits of green. Maybe the back caps there. Green handlebars. That's it. In my head that sounds pretty stunning, so we'll maybe have a look at that. Green wrap. I think that could be pretty cool. Alright, let me get this cleaned and sprayed black for now though. It's a good exhaust. It's got some sort of baffle in there, not that it's doing much. It's very, very loud. But they sold me the bike, Maitland, so they would have passed it with this at some point, MOT wise, because they built it. So I think noise wise we're okay. So I'm giving the exhaust a finger bath. And there's not really much more I can do today. Not really much more at all. I haven't got a clutch lever that'll fit. I have to order some. Here's my order list at the moment. Some Renthal bars, brake lever, clutch lever, 2 brake lines, 2 front calipers. Front light I've got. Kawasaki green paint, Kawasaki green tank stickers, matte black paint, 2K Pro XL, tank paint. I feel like there'll be more. Lucky enough the clock kind of works. Does its basic job, that's good. Yeah, it's an interesting one. So, welcome back. Now, I bought this bike a few weeks back and did some filming a few weeks back, which you should have just seen. But now we're at kind of real time, so I just sold the DNA 125. The next project is this, although I've got one more project lined up coming soon. The bike overall has a good running engine, has a nice exhaust system, has an okay end can. I'm a bit indifferent about the end can, but I'll show you guys at some point. And I've just ordered a bunch of parts to make this bike more accessible. New handlebars, a clutch lever, a brake lever, brake master cylinder, front left caliper, front right caliper, stuff like that. So at the moment the bike starts, but we can't select gear because we have no clutch system in regards to the actual lever. Other bits and pieces will need to be done over time, but these are the basics. Let's see if it kind of runs and rides first. I put a bit of filler on this hole, which has done wonders, but I need to do a little bit more, I think, just to bring it up to the right level. So I'm going to get some sandpaper on that, and I've got my base black spray can in there. So my aim today, my ideal would be to get the tank and the rear panel its baseline black. So kind of the tank's the main thing, so that in 2 or 3 days when the sticker turns up, I can stick the sticker on and then I'll clear coat it, you know, a day or 2 later. Nat normally buys stickers and he puts the stickers under and then he peels them off. I'm going to try and put the sticker on properly this time, make sure it sticks, and then lacquer over the top so that it's you know, so it looks as they would do in the factory. I mean, I'm not saying Nats don't look like that, Nats does, but I want the sticker underneath for some reason. And then there'll be kind of little tweaks and bits and pieces that I want to do to this bike that will make it a cool street fighter. This is a 2007 er6, it's a 650 engine. It's quite pokey, it's quite a cool bike. It will make quite a cool stunt looking bike, I think. So let's get that sanded down a little bit, and if I need a bit more filler on it, I'll do that. If not, I'll get that tank suctioned out, get the fuel out, and hopefully the tank off, and we'll start layering down a couple of base coats of the black. That would be ideal. Give that a day or two to cure, and then on the weekend I might be able to throw the clear on it. So I've just drained the tank of fuel. This is a Wednesday evening, by the way, guys, so I'm very limited on light. Rear panels down there, they've just got their first 2 tack coats. Basic matte black underspray, base coat. There it is. Now, spraying on the floor is not ideal by any means. If anyone wants any spraying tips and tricks and wants to see what you can do at home, head over to Nat Tanaka's Yard, the absolute best spray painter out there in regards to the use of cans, and actually even he's better than some gun artists as well, actually. So yes, get out there, have a look at his channel, and you'll see some proper decent paint. However, I will get a decent base black, and I'm going to have a nice Kawasaki green sticker on there and little bits of green on this bike, so it will look good. But that's my kind of system. So base black, I'll do kind of 3 tack coats, then I'll do 2 wet coats, and that's it. I'll leave it to dry for 2 days. I want to do the same on the tank, but the filler I just used needs proper time to set before sanding. It's just not worth doing it. I'll come back tomorrow, I think, and do it, because yeah, it's meant to be sandable after about half an hour, but it's not. Look, you can look, it's still moving to touch, so it's really not sandable after half an hour. That's fine. But use this time to do any other bits, guys. If you've got any other, I've got side panels here somewhere, and then I've got these front panels as well. They need sanding down properly and painting, but I want the base model done first. I can then add the top bits on afterwards. So for now I want just this base bit done, the tank and the rear panels. Yeah, I mean, it's heading in the right direction already. So one thing I've noticed with these is the handlebars are loose because these aren't bolted down. Saying that, what I want to do is pop them off and give this yoke, top yoke, a good clean. So I'm going to pop these bolts off under here, give the top yoke a good clean, then bolt them back down, so that when my new Renthal style bars turn up, they'll be kind of ready to go. So pop them off, top yoke a good clean, and we'll carry on from there. Okay everyone, welcome back. So far you've seen bits and pieces of this bike over, over a few weeks, because it's needed so many individual parts that waiting for them has been a right pain. You saw me start the paint a few days ago, and they're at the back curing. That's fine. I'll be doing some lacquer on them later. But the tank is key for me at this stage, because once them kind of main bits are done and the bike's a functioning bike, then we can look at kind of the nitty-gritty other bits. Sanded the forks down, ready for paint. They're just going to go black. That's kind of fine. I'm waiting for a step-up drill bit. I need to drill this out a little bit to fit the original housing in, because I want to use the original. It makes sense. And then, so at the moment, I'm going to sand down this because it's now at a nice level, but obviously it needs to be sanded so that it's good for paint. And then later today, I'm going to paint this its base black, because what I need is, I've got the new Kawasaki stickers which are green, but I need it to cure for maybe overnight today, I think, and then the new stickers will stick better tomorrow. Basically that's the kind of basic premises of my plan, and then I'll lacquer the whole bike tomorrow, and it will have a whole week then to sit and cure, which is perfect. That's exactly what we want. Same can for the tank, the Pro 2K Clear. It's a 2-part epoxy paint, so you mix it. That uses the same stuff. Notice I bought the extra big can there, and I'll be using the majority of that can on the tank only. I've got separate stuff for the other panels, because that's fuel resistant. In fact, that's fuel proof. That's going to be like it came out of the factory. Plus, if you empty that whole can onto this tank, you'll get a really thick looking shine. Nat gets it every time, and I'm just learning. Every time I do a bit more and a bit more, I'm getting better and better. In fact, Nat, let me know in the comments how much of that can you would use on the tank. But I know when I used the 300 milliliter last time, it wasn't a thick enough shine, and it was a bit of a letdown. So I'm gonna put the whole can on, and then the others will buff up just as well. So at the moment, I'm waiting on parts. I've got the clutch lever though, that's good, that's at home. I'm waiting on 2 front brake calipers and the front brake. Step up drill bit to drill that out a little bit. Green Renthal style handlebars. Obviously I'm doing the paint, and then it's kind of nitty gritty bits and pieces there. I've got a front light with a yellow screen. I think that's legal in the UK, I googled it. The rear indicators are okay at this stage. It'll be a new number plate, new rear indicators for the kind of final showing, because this bike starts, runs and rides beautifully. It sounds amazing, and it's really quite aggressive looking, which is what Gary was just saying. It's got a real aggressiveness to it. It's a big old 650 engine as well. For a speedo, I'm using something different this time, and I'm really excited to get kind of started with it. I'm going to be fitting for the first time ever a GPS style speedo. No messing around with magnets or wires to the wheel. It runs off GPS. It should be extremely accurate. They're not cheap, but they're really accurate. So the first time I'm using one of them, I'm of course going to have to work out how I bracket it up here, but it will be around GPS like that. So I'm excited, but I do have to admit the parts this week, considering I got parts for the DNA last week from Germany and they came in 3 days, the UK parts this week have been shocking. I ordered, 10 different parts, and I think 2 arrived, the paint and the clutch lever, which is terrible. But that's enough of me moaning. Let me get this bit sanded down, ready for base coat. I might even base coat it now while we're waiting, because we've got an hour before we go to the ULEZ centre. Okay guys, so not many parts turned up today. I got the step drill bit to make the hole up here bigger, that way I can mount the original ignition set. And I've got the clutch lever, as I said already. Right, petrol tank's off, it needs its base coat. I've used 2000 grit wet on here to get it as smooth as I can. It's not going to be perfect, it's going to be okay. I'm going to strap it up over there like I normally do, or just put it up against the old wall over there and get its kind of baseline coat on it. But before then it needs a good clean, it needs a good wipe down, a bit of brake cleaner wouldn't hurt, and then just some base coats of black. Really, you just want a nice base, let it dry overnight, sticker on tomorrow, 2K clear. Hopefully tomorrow we've got a clear dry day to get all the wet coats laid down. So tank is prepped just for its base coat. I've just doused it massively with brake cleaner. Brake cleaner is very good as a pre-paint. Let it completely dissolve, let it completely go, don't touch it. You shouldn't need to give it a wipe, but if you do, then give it a wipe with a fresh microfiber, and then a couple of coats there. It's a base coat, you don't have to go too nuts. You probably need 2 or 3 tacks, and then 2 kind of what I'd call wet coats or thicker coats. But it's the clear coat that's going to be doing all of the work, so we don't need to worry too much about that. So a couple of coats, and that will have the same base colour then as the ones we've sprayed in at the back of the garage already. So while I'm waiting for the base layers to dry, I'm just drilling up this hole, because using this step drill here, because I can make the original system fit. I think it's a little bit off, but it's not that far off. Basically it can sit in there, and even the steering lock could potentially work, potentially, but it is a little bit of working. I might even have to grind this down a bit here, or do something here, flatten it out. But I think I can get this to fit on this system, so it has the original locking system and the original steering lock, like I said, while I'm waiting for that base coat to dry. I'm going to throw another one on now. So that's the final black undercoat. Now the repair side isn't perfect, but it's not terrible. It's here. It's so much better. It was a big deep hole before, so that's great news. I'm going to let it dry to touch, then bring it down, let it dry overnight, put the sticker on, clear coat tomorrow. Hopefully it's not raining. At the moment I'm still trying to fabricate this area here. I need to make this hole bigger using the step drill, and I need to kind of file down the edges of this and file down the bottom bit a touch. I just need it that tiny bit more snug, and then that should be a normal ignition system. That may also it may have its steering lock as well, which would be really good. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I can't get loads done today, I just haven't got the parts, but the main thing for me at the moment is the paint, so I'm hammering away at that. That's good news. If I have enough time and energy today, I might do the forks, get them matte black and get some lacquer on them. And yeah, so tomorrow we should get the clear coats done on the rear and on the tank with the sticker on. I'm going to dig out any other side panels there are. I'm going to try and do something with them indicator side panels. They're in bad shape down there, and it's very hard to get the old paint off. I might have to take them up to a better sander. I've got a rotary sander at home, so I might need to take them to that and do it on that. But we're getting there, we're getting there. It's a great shape bike.
Oh.